Armored Brigade in a custom scenario that I just made, and I am currently using a mod which is called World War Improbable, which is a mod that includes some made-up factions based on real states, and I have yet to use it more, so I don't really know it in detail, but the the core of it is that it has vehicles and units that were prototypes that were never actually produced. I don't know if the vehicles that are used here are were really prototypes or if they are just made up, but anyway, they are cool. For example, this one, it reminds me of the Griffin light tank, which the United States is going to employ in the future. Okay, so the scenario is this. It's in the northeast Italy map, which is a DLC, and I have to take this city. The kind of realistic story that I tried to make up for this is that this is a highway, and it is needed to continue this hypothetical assault on the broader scheme of things. And so we need to conquer this so that we can use it for logistical supplies later on. And this is the main objective. The secondary objective, kind of, is taking the whole city so that it is easier to defend this place. Because if we don't, the enemy will still be here and be able to attack us. And this point in particular is important because roads come from here, and so if we cut this off, it will be more difficult for the enemies still in the city to get their supplies. Okay, so my enemy is Prussia, which I don't know what vehicles they have, and I am the North American Confederation. This is my order of battle. I have two of those scout vehicles. They are fast, and the cool thing is that all those vehicles have thermal imaging and radios and night vision and everything, but also the enemies, I think that they have that too. So okay, so anyway, that's just my scout vehicles. Then I have the infantry HQ, mechanized infantry, and then I have an infantry company. This is the vehicle, it's just an APC. It doesn't have very much weapons. And the mounted squad is this. They have a lot of peculiar guns like this one. I don't know what it is. It's a rocket launcher, obviously, and a flechette rifle, which I don't know what it is. I mean, I know what flechette is. I don't know what a flechette rifle is, and it doesn't seem very effective, but I think that it is in the game. And then I have these light tanks. They are lightly armored. They have good speed, decent speed, and then they have armor piercing, fin stabilized, discarding sabot, and high explosive, and I don't know what that is. High explosive rounds anyway that are for the infantry. I don't have any intel about my enemy aside from the fact that when you create the mission, you can choose how many points you have to buy the units. Kind of buy. It's just that every unit has some points, so that you are limited in your section. So I know that they have slightly less points than me because I am on the attack, and So the attacker in this game always has more points unless you change it, which is to simulate the fact that the enemy has his forces spread out along a line while you can concentrate on a single point to try to breach it. Anyway, I have also those self-propelled mortars, which I could have used just normal infantry mortars, since I won't be moving them, since their range covers the whole map. But since this is a mechanized force, it is more realistic to have mechanized self-propelled mortars. I think. I may be wrong. Anyway, I then have 4 artillery guns and I have air support available. Now, my plan is this. I plan to basically do this. I have split my mechanized infantry in 3 groups. 2 groups of which one is split in 2 subgroups. Okay, so this this is the main group, the non-red one, and these 3 and those other 3 are the other 2 groups. They are staggered, so it's not these 3, it's like this, and this, but it's the same thing. So I will be attacking here and here, and in the meantime, the other 6 squads will be going around and attacking from there, so that maybe I will be kind of flanking them and their defenses will be not so ready. I don't know. That's my supposition. And also this part is easier to attack because it has less dense urbanization compared to this. Because if I attacked here, I would have to then go through all of this, or alternatively just leave it and then go here. But then I would have to either leave a small contingent here which could be killed, or just abandon the objective and then go here. So I would conquer it and then leave it. I mean, I could probably do otherwise, but that's the plan that I came up with. Also, to go here, I would have to pass along a lot of places that offer concealment, so the enemy could spot me. Because the road is longer, there could be enemy units here, which would have both cover and concealment, so my attack could be spoiled. While here it is much closer and there is less cover and concealment for the enemy. So I will be trying to stretch their defenses to catch them unprepared by attacking the rear and kind of flanking them. And all the while I will be having smoke screens here and here, and then I will call another fire mission for smoke here, but these 2 have priority because the first squads to attack will be these ones, because another part of the plan is, I don't know if the AI actually thinks like this, but they may send reserves here, their reserves here, or just move other units from other defensive position here, and so it also acts as a diversionary attack. And so maybe my other forces will be able to encounter less resistance here, and if they are able to take the objective, I can then provide security from this flank while encircling the enemy. And so I will be able to reduce its forces to then proceed to the other objective, and also the clearing of this area, which will be extremely painful. A thing that I forgot to say also about my plan is that before doing all of this, I will be scouting the area with my scout vehicles, which are usually sacrificial lambs because they always get killed by some tank or everything really because they don't have much armor. Sì, aspetta che apro. Okay, so I had to pause the video for a moment. Okay, so maybe I'm using my my recon vehicles wrong because I always have them killed. I don't know. But it would be cool to have drones in this game. But there are actually scout helicopters. I could have used them, but I haven't picked them, so I have to do with this. Okay, so just to show, this is the plan for my squad, for my 6 squads. As you can see, this is disabled, so I have to click this with control to activate it so they don't go together. And it is important in this game, it is extremely important, but I think that in the real world too, to actually have the orders of the plan laid out before the operation, of course, because otherwise you will have to wait, like, it depends, from 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and so if you have your unit sitting there for 2 minutes, it's a problem. So just give them the orders and then disable them so that you can, like, have various steps. So these are all the orders. It's not very understandable, but if you look at the lines, they show what I already said. So that's not a problem. And I will be shooting smoke here because, yes, those markers are just vantage points that offer a good view, even though this is a plane. But there are small irregularities that offer you a more decent line of sight, which is in fact the places where I will be putting my light tanks, since they have like 1.5 kilometers of effective range. I will be providing fire support from there. So that's it. And there is this river which is impassable. There is this river crossing and these two, three. It's not really a problem because we start here, so I don't think that they can block us inside of this. I hope. That would be unexpected. Okay, so, and I will also be firing DPCEM, double purpose improved conventional munitions, on the location of the first attack to soften the enemies. That will be another thing that you can select in the creation of the scenario. Mechanized, so they will probably have tanks and mechanized infantry and some scout vehicles, and I don't know, maybe air support. Okay, so I can start. And okay, one thing that I had forgot to do is to set the artillery on fire on my command, so the smoke will be fired immediately, which I don't like because I don't know how long it lasts. I have more, so it's not really a problem. But okay, the artillery is coming. I will probably do another one. I just set the fire mission for last round so I can decide if I want more, instead of being stuck with being fired at the same time. Okay, there is enemy infantry. Scouts. I have told my scouts to not fire, but I will try to kill those guys. They have bailed. They pop smoke. Okay, so let's just continue the scouting mission. Okay, so as you can see, I forgot to give my unit additional orders. So now I will have to wait a minute. Okay, I killed the enemy scouts, which is cool. Now I will be just micromanaging this guy because I forgot to give him orders. And I think that at this point I can initiate the attack. They are probably all back here. So, okay. Yes, I am putting it on fast forward because otherwise the games last too long plus nothing is happening, so they are just driving. Okay, so the smoke is dying. That was an error on my part. Okay, so anyway, I will be calling some mortar fire on possible enemy positions. That may be annoying for us. I'm firing on open positions because if I fire on buildings, it won't be very effective. Okay. My scout vehicle got immobilized. So there are enemies here, as I expected. Okay, let's fire again. I want to soften them up. Okay, now I have to stop the fire mission because I will be firing on my own units. Okay, so now there is a problem with this game, which is that when you give orders to mechanize the infantry which is mounted, you can't give the orders to the dismounted one because otherwise it will cancel the orders of the mounted one. Or I'm not sure because one time I did, but it's annoying because you have to dismount it, select it, then give the order, then mount it back again. It's extremely annoying. So anyway, now I will have to do this, unfortunately. And I am also moving my HQ forward because in this game the HQ has the ability to reduce your order waiting time. Okay, so there are some enemies with anti-tank weapons here for sure. Okay, so I will have to kill them before I make my other squads of infantry go because otherwise they will be extremely reduced when they get there and they won't be able to complete the mission. So I don't need the smoke anymore. Okay, so I would call a new mission, like a small mission on this tank position, but there are probably others too. And I will shell the town a bit, just to annoy them. I will then shell them harder before I attack to suppress them. In the meantime, okay, I'm also sending my light tanks. Okay, let's see. Okay, my infantry is inside the HQ radius, but I'm sending it a bit further. Okay, I don't know if the tank has been killed, but I will call for another strike. And now I will do another artillery strike against this position before I send my squads in. Okay. In the meantime, I wait for my light tanks to get into position. Okay, I made the tank move, so it can now be targeted by my light tanks, which will provide overwatch. And they are doing exactly what I needed. Okay. And I will get my infantry to go to. Okay, so I could use some smoke maybe to help my attack. Now we have to move the HQ forward, because otherwise it will take a long time for my units to get the orders. I don't know. They usually don't have many smoke guns, now they have a bit. Okay, so we are taking fire from here. They ambushed us. Okay, that's a problem because I have lost 4 APCs and now my infantry has to go on foot, which is a big problem. So now I will have to change my plan completely. This was completely unexpected. Okay, so I will move my APCs here to provide fire support. Okay, so what's the distance to the objective? No, I can't make them walk through this field like that, so I have to change my plans completely. This ambush fucked me completely. I should have shot some smoke here. I didn't think about this urban area here, which provided concealment for the enemies. It's an error on my part. So anyway, now I will be doing just one attack, one spearhead. Okay. Or I just realized that I made an error. I think that those squads that are being attacked, they should charge these enemies. And try to destroy them, because otherwise I will be encircled. Also this one. And also I will be calling an artillery mission on this position. The air support. Should have done it before. I waited too long. Okay, I think that the enemies are all behind. Okay, so all these infantry got killed. So now this is a problem. I still have my light tanks providing overwatch, so at least I should be covered if these guys come. But I had a pleasant surprise. Okay. I don't know, they may have gone somewhere, but if they came here we would have seen them, so I'm confident that they are somewhere else. So basically I lost half my company my infantry company. Okay, so now I will be shooting some smoke here to cover the advance of my infantry, but I have too little infantry for my tastes because that ambush at the beginning really ruined my plans. I have finished my HE rounds, and also I haven't found any. Okay, I killed this one with my DPCM artillery, but I think there were two of those armored vehicles, so I see that this one got killed, so maybe there is another one. I don't know. Okay, so I will pause now. So I got 6 out of 12 infantry squads, which is bad, extremely bad. 7 if we count this one. And I am running out of artillery ammunition. So I will be using this when I have some actual targets to fire at, because for now I would be just wasting it. Okay, so for now I haven't really encountered much resistance. I expect them to be all hidden inside the urban areas. Okay, there must be something here. There must be something like a tank, probably. I will be providing some smoke cover, which I should have done before again. That was another error on my part, even though I think they probably have thermal sights, but still, it's still better to use smoke. Now I will wait until I get smoke, and then I will move my tanks. Okay, so now I will have to do urban combat with very little infantry. I will put those here to provide security to not get encircled, and then we will just start to slowly take these buildings. Okay, I got the smoke. I'm just throwing some random HE rounds to suspected enemy positions, which I didn't realize was so close to my infantry. Okay. Okay, we took the other objective and we killed the tank. Yes, giving rocket launchers to infantry is extremely pleasant because I also play Gravity in Tactics and I just bought it, so I'm not very experienced. But usually the German infantry I'm playing with, they don't have any anti-tank launchers, and so every time a tank comes, like they just can't do anything. So even though it's not their main role, having anti-tank weapons for infantry, especially in those areas that are more close, like that have a shorter line of sights and lines of fire, is extremely useful. Okay, so I mean that's pretty obvious actually. Okay, I'm just shooting on positions that the enemies might be in. And then I'm already giving these orders so that I don't have to waste time. I'm putting them here so that they they can fire it in an open area instead of going inside here and get destroyed. So I may actually use this one to provide security here in case there are some guys trying to encircle us. Hopefully not armored units, because otherwise it will get killed. Okay. Okay, so I'm using the APCs for security. Okay. Urban combat is a bit boring because you have to micromanage, because the game doesn't allow you to not do it, because the AI doesn't do it by itself. Okay, so I forgot these units. Okay, they think they have seen some infantry there. Just to be sure, I will try to deny them this area before they get there. Also, I don't need the smoke anymore. I can try some DPCM. I will just use all my guns to have a faster rate of fire. And I am also trying to conserve a bit of ammo because I have very little ammunition at the moment. And I will just be shelling this part before I try to clear it with my squads. And actually, it's better if I just use two guns. Okay. And do the same for the other side before I clear it. Then I don't know if there are some positions that can provide good support by fire like this. Okay, so we can do some enfilade fire. And I think that they get these fast orders because they have radius. I think that's how the game works, but I'm not sure. So yes, I forgot to move the HQ. I will just move it in a safe place. Okay, now we have those tanks trying to encircle us and hit us from behind. So I will have to redirect one of my light tanks. And also my HQ. Okay. And I called for smoke. Okay. I selected the wrong type of ammunition, but it's just the right occasion to call for some artillery fire on these tanks. Hoping that they're still here when I fire. Yes, I know that the video may be a bit boring because I am sometimes I stop talking. Right, I also can call some air support here. Yes, sometimes I forgot things in this game because there are various variables that you can use, various things that you can use, and I forget them. So, okay, so I will be just providing Overwatch with this light tank. I don't want to engage the tanks from the front. It's just in case they get. Okay, so I want to finish clearing this part of the town, and there doesn't seem to be anybody here. I don't know, it seems like there is anyone. So I have this. Oh no, it got killed. Okay, because it couldn't provide some Overwatch. In case we got encircled, because we are vulnerable to being encircled at the moment. Since I don't have any Overwatch in this position on all these areas, so at the moment there could be enemies here encircling me, and I may not even know. Okay, so I'm calling for some air support on these tanks, which are being extremely annoying. But they haven't actually done very much damage in reality. And now I will be doing my almost last fire mission on this area to soften it up before I move my infantry in. Ah, okay. So the battle ended. Ah, okay. I'm surprised that they had so little so little units. Ah, okay. So they had some rocket teams here. Okay, so I'm actually surprised that they had so little. I mean, I even gave them more points at the in the selection screen, but I mean, it's also true that I think that the AI made some stupid choices because in reality they had a lot of stuff that they just didn't use, like those uh, APCs. No, they are self-propelled mortars, and they just didn't use them. Also, those lone rocket teams that almost did nothing, and then these two squads of scouts. I mean, I they had two little points because I mean this was too easy. Even though I have actually lost a lot of APCs, so I mean for what they had, they actually did some annoying level of damage, but. Uh, Yes, I mean, it's a bit surprising that they had so little units. I didn't expect them to have so little units. Anyway, so yes, the game usually stops the battles a bit early. I mean, in this case, it wasn't very early. I just didn't know it. So my forecast would be that I would have just taken the old town because I mean, they don't have anything to counter me. They could just shell me until they finish their ammunition. And so anyway, this is my video. I still have some improving to do, I think, because to keep the videos more concise and entertaining. I mean, I don't think that you have to talk like all the time because it's not really needed while you play. But I understand that for someone watching the video, it may be more interesting to hear me talk instead of being silent sometimes. So anyway, this is the video and that's it.